Can someone write in the chat? Yeah, all right, lovely. We're on. Great.
Go.
Yeah, all right. Well, happy Friday and cheers, Pete.
Likewise, bro.
Well, it's late over here, or getting late, so past 5 o'clock anyway. So how are you doing?
Chilling. Same old shit, man. One day at a time. That's all we can really do, you know?
Yeah, how's so you're obviously, for people who don't know, you're obviously calling in from Vegas.
Yeah.
Where you live.
Yeah, it's weird out here. Vegas is doing an okay job with like the quarantine and everything. We're actually like slowly starting to reopen the city.
Oh, right.
But it's still weird. I mean, obviously, you know, you were just out here pretty recently. This city obviously relies entirely on tourism. So like reopening the city doesn't necessarily mean the city is back and functional, obviously, you know. It means residents are moving around, businesses are starting to open. Some like retail stores can be at 25% capacity. Restaurants, I think, can be at 25% capacity. But no casinos open. None of the touristy shit's going to be open for a while. No. It's going to be really interesting to see how the city sustains during something like this, because we're so reliant on the rest of the world, which in a situation like this is good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, definitely. Like it's times like these when we get everything stripped down to the bare necessities and find out what really matters, right?
Yeah, and even then, you still have to rely on collective human rationale and intelligence.
And that really isn't. There's
help
not
everybody.
Much about.
I have so little faith. I have so little faith in humans that.
I'm totally there with you, man. I mean, I was just in the only thing we have over here open is like food stores, corner shops, and shit. Like there's nothing else open. We're allowed to leave the home once a day, either for or shopping or getting necessities, basic necessities.
Yeah, that's how it's been here for the longest time. It's like actually tomorrow is technically when retail businesses are allowed to reopen at 25% and whatnot. They just want to start helping small business, which I completely understand. You have
absolutely.
People
I mean,
decimated. People are losing their livelihood.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're lucky that people like us that we can actually make a living from home no matter what we do. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm super. If I couldn't play online, I would have gone insane by now. Like there's no way. I wouldn't be able to handle 2 months of just like sitting doing nothing, trying to make fucking cameo appearances for battle rap fans and shit. Like fucking. I mean, the cameo stuff's been fun. If anybody doesn't have the Cameo app, I would definitely recommend going and getting it. It's like an app where you can basically
you could
like literally entertainers of every single walk of life, your favorite athletes, actors, movie stars, musicians, literally any form of entertainment, and these people are on the Cameo app, and for whatever their particular price point is, you can either speak to them through DM or you can get like direct shout outs from them. And what I've been doing is just promoting like, hey, if you need me to like roast somebody you love for their birthday or for a special occasion, but particularly for battle fans, of course. But yeah, this has been a good time for it. People have definitely been hitting me up for it. And it's crazy. Like up until now, Disaster finally just got on there recently, which I mean, he should have been on a year ago, no question, because he has such a large presence.
I didn't even know about this app. I thought it was a new thing that just came out.
It's fairly new. It's about a year old, but for the entire time that I have had it, the only battler who has been on there with me is Pat Stay. So we've basically we've been the only ones of our kind on here, and he was crushing it as well. And then I finally saw that Diz got on there and was just like, yeah, man, like, I don't even know what you were waiting for, because he has such a huge following. He should be doing anything and everything that involves user engagement. You know what I'm saying?
But your price point is what, like $40, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so for anyone who's listening out there, you can actually go and download this Cameo app, and for $40, which is the equivalent of about, I don't know, 220 kroners, you can get TheSaurus to roast your favorite or you know,
Yeah, whoever they
friend.
want, you know, if they want to be roasted personally, I'll do that. If they have a, you know, a friend, a girlfriend, a kid, a parent, anything, you know, anybody with an up and coming birthday or something to celebrate, or even like just in, so like we're dealing with such a weird time and such limited human interaction to begin with. So even if you just want to like surprise a friend who is maybe like a more of like an introvert and a hermit than more people, you know, so people, because some people just don't reach out to the outside world during times like this, even when it's as necessary as it is. So it's good for those people to know someone's thinking about them and cares enough to have someone drop in and just, you know, just give them a couple of jokes, couple of lines. Obviously, you hit me up with a personal message and give me as much information about the person who you want roasted as possible. And then, you know, give me 2 or 3 days and I'll come up with like 12 to 16 bars. I just did one this morning for someone's birthday, someone's 43rd birthday. It was super funny.
Cool. That's awesome, man. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure someone's gonna jump on that from the Danish side.
Word.
As well.
I
Like,
mean, it's great. I've been trying to plug it as often as I can, like on my Twitter, my Facebook fan page, and my Insta feed. And yeah, especially during the quarantine, it makes perfect sense, you know.
Exactly. It's a beautiful. I mean, this is a time where we get to see like the best and the worst in people, right? It's
absolutely.
I was just coming back from the store earlier, and I can see from my back garden. I can like look over to the street that's parallel to me, and there was, you know, someone who's outside having a violin concert for the rest of the street, obviously social distancing and everything, and it was so insane. Like we were out there, I was standing out there with my girlfriend, like she just, you know,
that's
almost brought a little tear to my eye. Like it's
for
it's
sure,
the
that's
small things in
beautiful,
life,
man.
right? That's
you see
so
like
great.
The videos of like people singing on their balconies in Italy and whatnot. I mean, I know that's like a month-old video, but shit like that, like we need that in a you know.
Yeah, and every Thursday, for instance, we go outside and we stand and we clap for the EWs, like, you know,
dope.
It just brings a little hope back, right?
Absolutely, it really does. In a
time of absolute horror, but
yeah, it really is, man. It's insane. I'm like, somehow Vegas has actually done a really good job with containing the virus as a whole. We have very, very low death count, especially compared to everywhere in the States. Very low death count, especially for being like a major U.S. city. But like, I mean, it's we have barely over 200, which is, I mean, 200 too many, of course, but it's extremely low figure when you look at cities like New York, you look at what's happening to Detroit, you look at what's about to happen to Atlanta. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's and you know, I know I'm guessing you're not a Trump voter. I won't ask you.
No, but I'm definitely not.
looking at your feed and stuff, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I don't really support. I don't really support people who are anti-science, you know.
No, and that whole, I mean, when it came out that he was telling people to inject fucking Lysol and shit, like we were over here sitting like, what the fuck is this moron doing? Like, how the hell did he ever get in there?
I think that's one thing that a lot of my friends who don't travel, like obviously I have friends and family who support the guy. A lot of them aren't as like well traveled per se as I am, and I don't think the majority of them understand the worldview from the outside looking in. Whereas I see it pretty clear as day. I interact with people of basically every walk of life from around the world, and I can understand the collective perception. Whereas like I have friends that are just in like this bubble of a few hundred people in their hometown, and that's all they know. So that's all they hear and see. And it becomes all they believe. It's mind numbing to me. I mean, I've owned like immediate family who just, they have no concept of what the worldview of America looking in. Like,
when I was over there the last, you know, I came home. I think you were one of the last people I saw before actually coming home to London and getting in lockdown. And obviously now I'm here with my girlfriend, so you know it's not as hard on me as it is on other people who don't have it. Of course. But
super
imagine
lucky
people sitting out there who's lost their fucking jobs. They haven't got anyone in their house. Like they can't go out. gotta be hell. Like it's
just pure depression.
yeah, really, man. It's yeah. But I think maybe enough about that subject.
Yeah, for sure.
And at least in the sense of just how horrible it is. But how do you think that's gonna affect battle rap? And like we've seen some good shit come out from Alvo and stuff like that.
We're seeing. I like like. It's weird to me. It's kind of a double-sided coin for me. It's I like that content is coming out. I feel like we need new, fresh content in a time like this, just to keep our brains like stimulated and to stay engaged and to stay interested in the community with the same level of interest that we had before all this shit. However, I also feel like the like quote unquote quarantine format, there's obviously lacking components there. Like not having an audience for me is a huge I don't want to say deterrent, because it's still good that we have the content, but it takes away a feeling that was once there with the material. It takes away an energy that you just can't match otherwise. Like I remember I think it was just barely a week ago, K-Shine and Twerk battled for URL on the Caffeine app, but it was just a 1-rounder and they were streaming from home. And I even said, like, when the battle was announced, I was just like, it's cool that they're doing this for the culture, especially doing it for free. That's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
People want to see content. Those are two of the biggest names in the world. However, I won't even watch that in that format because of who those two guys are, what their energy means live, like in a venue with fans, what a disservice it is for us to not be able to see them battle with all of the correct elements in play. You know what I'm saying? And I totally like salute to them for even having the idea to do it, because that's still cool as fuck that they're creating content for the fans. It's just me personally, like something is lacking with the quarantine footage for sure. Even, I mean, it's the way it's presented through the camera. That's fine. It's just there needs to be an atmosphere behind it. Otherwise, and there needs to be.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. There needs to be like room for the live element to take place. You can't like think of how limited like a guy like a Sharon would be in a quarantine battle setting. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much going on in the moment that it's a disservice to his skill set for something like that to happen. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just like the whole, you can take it from looking at a video, even when it's a video that's filmed in a big audience.
Yeah,
it's nowhere near the same feeling as actually being in the room itself. So it's a completely, it's a vital element.
I hope that like gatherings of whatever size necessary are, I hope they slowly and surely start coming back into effect. Travel bans and whatnot is obviously going to play a large role in what people can do, how limited we are. Even something as simple as someone may live somewhere where airports aren't allowing them flights to I might not be able to fly from here to a particular city that wants to launch something whenever they do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another huge question mark. It obviously, I mean, it hurts the scene for sure. It really just puts things on hold. It gives, like, there's an opportunity for hopefully league owners to sort of like use this time to sit, assess things in their current state, and maybe start brainstorming on what they want to do moving forward once we're able to like relaunch and shit. So there could be a lot of fresh and cool new ideas that come out of this. That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, that's all we got right now is sitting around.
All we can really do is just stay hopeful,
make ideas.
Yeah, and sort of stay unified as much as possible. Like try to avoid. I mean, I feel like there's only really one league in battle rap who's deliberately trying to create a divide between themselves and the rest of battle rap. And
I don't necessarily think we need to name them, but I think
no,
we know
definitely
what we're
not. And
talking
it's
about.
weird because that league is so big on their own that they don't even need to do that, but they still choose to. But as long as other leagues are staying in tune with each other and brainstorming and building together, sort of like how KOTD and RBE have been doing together for their last several events and whatnot. As long as leagues are doing that outside of the one who knows that they stand alone, I think that will be helpful for sure. It's just they're need, that people definitely need to know that even in a time like this, there's still there isn't like we don't need to create more non-existent divides in a time where we are already as physically divided as we can possibly be, so
and mentally and all that.
And mentally, of course, man, like, for real.
There's been divides in there before even we got the physical one, but now we're really feeling it. Like
absolutely,
it's fucking hard, man. It's going to be a great feeling to come out once we come out on the other side.
Oh my god,
on the new normal, and just wait to. I can't wait to just hug my family.
Serious. So that's literally the first thing I'm looking forward to, bro. More than anything in the world, that's all I want. Like,
really.
My mom lives across the map. I can't see them. My brother lives in California, a good 8 hours away. My daughter lives a good 3-hour drive away in California. It's definitely it's like a very like seclusive time, but just got to take it one day at a time, stay in touch with the people who you love, and get through it.
I mean, it's definitely like I said, it's now we find out what really fucking matters, right? Oh exactly. Man, my delivery hasn't come yet. I'm desperate.
Yeah, one thing about the lockdown here, they made sure to keep all dispensaries open.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and thanks for that recommendation on that.
Oh yeah,
on that dispensary. Yeah. That was insane, brother. That was absolutely.
They deliver during this shit, so I don't even have to go down there. They're not even like retail. They're not even open. You can't go inside, So just got to place a fucking delivery order. It takes 5 or 6 hours for them to come, but they give you the time window that they're coming. So they say, hey, we'll be there between 2 and 4 p.m. Cool.
But where are you going to be anyway? Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm in no hurry. See you then. It's great. Yeah, I mean, usually like especially when it comes to like just getting weed, usually I just go to Cali because it's so much cheaper. I have so many friends over there who are like involved either legally or just selling themselves. It's significantly cheaper than paying full price at dispensaries and being taxed and shit. But obviously in this situation,
you got your weed, and then I'll stick to my Henny and
right on.
Go. All right, cheers, man.
Hopefully the Cali border opens for me to drive across soon, so I can just go get like a nice pound or something. Fuck.
Fucking hell. So yeah, for anyone listening, obviously that's because Las Vegas has legalized recreational use. When I was over there, TheSaurus gave me an awesome hookup for a dispensary. I think it might be the largest dispensary in the world, isn't it?
It is. They claim it is the largest in the world. I think it's probably technically by square footage that it's considered the largest in the world. It's definitely big. You go inside and it's fucking big.
Like we went in there and like after you get through all the security and that shit, I was there with my girlfriend, and she doesn't smoke weed, but we got some edibles for her, so that was the first time she got to try something out, and it was a great experience. And that Cheechong Land down the end of the it's a beautiful place, man. They really like commercialized the
it's unbelievable
in a beautiful way.
The way I describe it to everybody, it's like the Apple Store for weed. It's like you literally feel like you're going into the Apple Store to be serviced. It's fucking crazy.
And then someone comes up to you from the Genius Bar and say, "What are you looking at for?"
Yeah, like, exactly. Do you have anything in particular?
I can get used to this.
That shit's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's a couple of Battle fans who work down there too that I chop it up with like every time I go. It's pretty dope. I think obviously a lot of probably majority of Battle fans are weed smokers, so I feel like every time I've been in a dispensary out here, I've met at least one battle fan, which is fucking dope. Super sick. I love that shit. Like, I always encourage any battle fans, like, yo, if you ever see any of us anywhere, say something. Just say what's up. I know a lot of people think like battle rappers may be assholes because of what we do or whatever, but the general vast majority of us are super chill in person, very appreciative of meeting fans, and always super humbled by it. So anytime, like anybody who's watching this, if you're ever just out and about and see any battler that you know or recognize, just take the 2 seconds and go and say, hey man, what's up? Like, I've seen your work. Even if you're not a fucking fan, just, hey man, I've seen your work. Good shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit goes such a long way. And I can promise you will make the battler's day. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've just been having like either a shitty day or just a day that wasn't anything to think about, you know? Then I go somewhere for something random, go to the local grocery store or something like that, somehow bump into a fan. I can see the excitement in their face from it happening and how genuinely happy they are about the situation. That shit makes my day every single time, man. Fuck, I'm more than happy to take a photo, and you know, I love that shit. Got to show appreciation.
But I have been like stopped in shops once in a while where people like dab me up for what I did or when we did it. It's always been a bit awkward for me because I never aimed to it myself in that position. But
you're like a known figure, yeah. It's like
walking away from it, it actually, you know, it definitely, you know,
it touches you, man. It really does. You realize that your work made an impact. You know, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's something that definitely touches you in a, you know, well, not in a pedo way, but in a good way.
Facts, super facts. Anyone have any questions in the chat or anything?
Yeah, let's see. Let's go over the chat here and see.
For sure.
Well, there's a question there's a bunch of people who ask if they can battle you, and I've always told them, if they pay for your fee, then go right ahead. I'll bring you over anytime.
It's really simple as that. You know, it really is simple as that, man. Especially an international battle, like fuck, because I mean the trip itself is such an awesome experience. You know what I'm saying?
There's a forum on the Danish, you know, well, Facebook, whether the Danish battle rap forum, and we've been discussing just that, like how battlers are being paid, and that it actually isn't, a lot of it isn't a fee when you book an outside battler. Like if I bring someone over from the UK to Denmark or from America, like when we rest in peace tried to book Caddy. You know, there wasn't money going into his hand as such. Like most of it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the trip is such a large part of it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
The trip itself
people have like
expensive.
a screwed up kind of idea of
perception
what battle rappers actually make.
Because battlers create a perception that is that's not real to be.
Of course, right? Everyone wears that fucking, you know, blingy chain you can't wear in the war, and you know.
You hear like even it like in battle lines, you hear people throw numbers around and shit, and you think like, whoa, that seems like a pretty high figure. The majority of the time, especially for internationals, like, I mean, I can't speak for anyone besides myself, but I've done enough international battles with enough friends from here to know that it's much easier to get us out for those trips, like, because the experience and the trip itself is such a huge part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like me battling in the Bay. Obviously I'm going to ask for significantly more than, you know, because that's like my foundation and where I probably created the most demand for myself. But I also know like what goes into getting me overseas. Just that in itself is like most people's performance fee. Just the flight, you know, like flight and hotel for a trip from the West Coast to Europe that's more than a lot of battlers' performance fee.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, a lot of the time, I imagine you stay over for a couple of extra days just to get a.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to make the most of it. At least, especially if like if the flight's longer than, 8 to 10 hours or something, I'm going to need to come in an extra day early so that I can just fully rest and balance out from the jet lag and catch up on my sleep properly and everything. And then, I want to stay.
Got the last practice round in.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm such a last minute writer as well. Like,
yeah, I remember we were speaking about it when I came over, right? And you were saying something like, well, yeah, I'll write my battle on the way to Cali in the car. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that was right before I battled Ronnie. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened, especially because I had just won that tournament, like basically the week before my battle.
Oh yeah. What tournament was that? Was that
it was a $400 buy-in. It was a World Series of Poker circuit event at the Rio. And it's funny too, I won the exact same event the year prior. Same day,
you were two times that now as well, right?
Literally 2-time everything, which is fucking crazy. And then the battle with Ronnie was like 4 or 5 days after that event. So it's actually kind of unfortunate. Like, I mean, whatever. It's unfortunate timing, I guess, that I won the tournament when I did, because winning something like that when I do, and it's an amount of money that it is significantly more than I'm making for the battle.
Oh yeah, so, for sure.
Like, I had, for a good 2.5 days after I had won the event, it was just like nonstop party with my friends and eating like fucking royalty, obviously. And like, completely mentally checked out of the battle. And I fully own up to that. I like talked about it after the event itself with Avo, with the person who booked it and everything. I like apologized to Ronnie for not having my best performance, because I was pissed because the battle was in my hometown. So I wanted to have a perfect performance and I wanted to put on a fucking clinic for my hometown crowd, obviously. The event itself was cool. The energy right before we battled was weird, because like a fight almost happened with the battle before Ronnie and I. So the energy was already a little bit off before we battled. And I was paying so much attention to the drama that was happening before we battled that it was like that. Usually what the battle before mine, I'm in a corner pacing back and forth like a panther in a cage, running my shit over and over. So I know all of like my segues and all of my line cues and everything. But I was so distracted by the fight drama and all this shit that obviously I'm paying full attention to that. And it's in my hometown. So I want to make sure like, nothing fucking crazy happens. The dude who booked it isn't going to lose the venue, all kinds of shit. There's so many variables going on in my head. And then it's like, okay, dude who was starting the drama gets pushed out of the venue. Drama's over. Okay, TheSaurus versus Ronnie. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Like, we're just battling now? So, like, I was like slightly scatterbrained. I wrote all 3 rounds in the 2 days prior to the battle because I was so just like on this fucking party high from winning the tournament and just having a blast. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I was having fun.
Yeah.
I work hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
I was playing the tournament the day after the day after you left, and
word.
We need to get you in there next time, man. It's,
yeah, man, absolutely.
Unconfiscatable. Shout out to Tone Mays and all the work he's doing. And
word. Yeah, I'll definitely. If I'm in the country for it next year, I'll absolutely come through and play. Like,
yeah, just put a little bit of your Bitcoin aside and get ready to play.
Yeah, man. It's on a nice little uptick this month.
Oh yeah, it's doing very well. But let's not bother people with that. That's
yeah, we don't need to do that. I was just about to say how happy I was. Like, I remember when I saw you too, and right after the tourney, like I bought a little because it was somewhere around like 68. Yeah, it was like 6,800, like just under 7K US. So I mean, it's been a good 6 weeks.
yeah. I mean, I was in 2011, so obviously I'm fucking over the
piles. Piles. See, bro, if I had a fucking time machine, are you kidding me?
I think so many people, but again, that's way too nerdy for a lot of these people. It's yeah, I think they know a little bit more about battle rap than they do about Bitcoin at this point.
Crypto, I agree.
But and on that note, last shout out to Unconfiscatable, great fucking conference and poker tournament that goes down in Las Vegas. Shout out to Huddle Brand, and yeah, that's what I gotta say to about
dope.
Yeah, I got this little nice glass from it as well.
Sick.
Yeah, it was a really good goodie bag for VIPs on there.
That's cool as fuck, man.
Yeah, definitely. And ran into some insane people, like people you wouldn't, like Max Kaiser, it's like people you'd never imagined you'd meet in your life. Like it's been a crazy ride.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's been absolute, like, you know, yeah, it's crazy. This is, you know, it is what it is.
Word. Fuck yeah, man. That's dope.
So yeah, let's run through the chat here.
Yeah.
See what we have in of questions. Can I battle TheSaurus? Someone saying I am filming with a potato. No, it's just that the fact that the Wi-Fi in the UK is just, the broadband is so overloaded because everyone is using it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no one's getting a good connection over here. So it's
not surprised at all.
It's like there's parts of the country where there isn't really any internet at all, really, these days.
Oh yeah,
out the sticks. Outages, like, and then like imagine sitting fucking at home not being able to watch Netflix even, like fucking hell.
Oh man.
Yeah, ripping out the old fucking DVD player and
go completely fucking insane.
Go analog as fuck these days, right?
It's like how Greece used to be, like the islands in Greece were back when I used to go there every summer.
Yeah.
Like the Wi-Fi was very hit or miss anywhere you went. The only places that had it were cafes that you would pay for it, of course. And even then, very spotty hit or miss Wi-Fi.
All right. So here we are. This is oh yeah, someone's saying I'm definitely voting Trump. Yeah, and fuck you. Someone's saying I'd like to know your opinion on the Wild Out / URL guys going at Eminem and how people are talking about that in the battle community.
Okay.
I've been out of this
we can definitely talk about that
for a while, so I don't even know what that question relates to. So if you could
okay.
that to me.
So Nick Cannon, Nick Cannon, the actor, has his TV show Wildin' Out.
Yeah.
Which he has Sharon, Charlie Clips, Conceited, Hitman Holla. That's cool as fuck. Obviously, that he's in tune with the battle rap culture to the degree of giving jobs to members of our community. That's cool as fuck. Now on to some clown shit that he did. So essentially, Nick Cannon has had an ever-running beef with Eminem because of Mariah Carey. I mean, M's dissed Nick Cannon for over a decade on record, and they've had just ongoing beef. So I think M dissed Mariah and Nick again on whatever the last that M album that dropped that had like Godzilla on it and all that shit.
Yeah, you know what I can't remember
you know what I'm talking with, like the Caterpillar song with Royce and all that. I forget what the album was fucking called.
Yeah, me too.
But the last project that he dropped before this, like most recent surprise one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he dissed Nick Cannon again. So Nick Cannon decided to make a diss track in response, and then made multiple diss tracks in response. And on, I believe, 2 of them included Charlie Clips, Hitman Holla. I think Clips and Hitman are on one, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe it's Clips, Hitman, and Conceited on another one. I could be wrong on whether or not Conceited ever even was on any of them, but I think he was on the second one. But yeah, for some reason they decide to get involved in Nick Cannon's beef. I suppose partially because he's looking at it on some like, you guys got to have my back type of shit. Like,
or like it's gonna be great promo for a while.
It's great. It's gonna go viral. We're taking shots at Eminem, who of course, and M obviously. Once Nick Cannon dropped these two songs, M didn't even fucking acknowledge it. He fucking. Oh, actually, you know what happened? So M drops the diss track, then Nick Cannon makes all these response songs. So then there's like peak hype around their beef, and then M surprise dropped the album. So it's like a genius move by him. He disses Nick to trigger a response, which then gets his name back in discussion. And then everybody's talking about, oh man, is he going to respond to Nick's next diss track? And then no, he just surprise drops an album that sells a couple million copies because that, you know what I'm saying? When you have fucking megastar power, that's what you do. Apparently, fucking G move.
But he retires after every album and comes back with a surprise. He's a great he's an amazing artist. I remember he's
a smart strategist too. I've become less a fan of the work he's put out more recently. I'm just not. I've been less engaged with what he's put out his last couple albums compared to what I used to. But I mean, that's just people grow, people change. I'll always have infinite respect for his rap ability, for what he did, for the standard he set and the doors that he opened. No fucking question. I'm not going to sit here and fucking lie on camera and be like, oh, he is in no way responsible for the doors that opened for myself and a lot of my friends. That's bullshit. The guy is largely responsible because even when describing how I got into battle rap to people, because obviously I'm from an era that precedes YouTube and fucking filming battle rap, essentially, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he created very similar. Poker heads will understand this analogy. So in the online poker world, we had the Chris Moneymaker boom, which was when an amateur poker player won the biggest tournament of the World Series of Poker main event. He qualified on he won a $30 satellite to win a $10,000 seat and then wins the tournament for $2 million. And it created the online poker boom. Everybody thought they could do this. So everybody jumped online, started downloading and started playing. So when 8 Mile dropped, battle rap had the 8 Mile boom. It's the same shit. Okay,
we had the same shit in Denmark. Everybody thought they could freestyle.
Before 8 Mile, there was little battle rap events that would take place, say up and down the West Coast. You could find a rap battle in San Francisco once every couple of months, or in LA once every couple of months, where the main prize will be $250, maybe $500, and then Scribble Jam started in 1998. Scribble had been running since then. Then the 8 Mile boom happens. People start realizing not only do humans with a particular skill set realize they want to do this and pursue this and make it a thing, you have capitalists who realize that they can now sell out venues off of booking this too. So instead of having a successful event or a profitable event for battlers once every 3 months in major cities, now it was every fucking weekend. There was an event in San Fran one week, then LA the next, then San Jose the next. And I was just hopping around up and down the state and basically able to earn a living. And then, you win a Scribble and a WRC, and now we're talking real money. And the 8 Mile boom opened the door for me to actually be able to generate a livable income. So I could never lie and say M is in no way responsible for me being where I am arbitrarily. You know what I'm saying? The guy opened so many fucking doors for it to even be possible. But that said, over the last several years, I've become less interested in just the type of content that he puts out as a rapper. It's just my ear has just changed. That's all it is. It doesn't make him any less dope of a lyricist or any less of an all-time great. I've just been less engaged with the shock value rap. Cool man, you're 50. You're still rapping about your stepdad.
We've all become that old angry Bill Burr man who's just banging at the roof saying, "That's not fucking music."
Yeah, but I mean, even to that, I mean, I still love listening to rap music. It's just my ear for it what I want to listen to has changed. Now I want to listen to shit that is far less high strung and less like anxiety riddled. And also like, I don't want to hear a 50-year-old dude rapping about his stepdad anymore. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so the Nick Cannon beef. So obviously M doesn't acknowledge any of the battle rappers who came at him on Nick Cannon's diss songs whatsoever, which to me, to get back to the original question, is why it makes the battlers, just in that instance, it didn't tarnish any of their brands in the long term or anything like that. But in that specific instance, it was definitely a bad look for those battlers to get involved in that beef in any capacity. I get it that Nick's your guy. I understand that you thought it was going to go viral, which it did, I'm sure. And I'm sure you guys caught a little, a little more buzz than usual from that. That's cool. But it is not a good look to make such bad songs to begin with such bad bars when you come from the community that you do, where the standard is so high for what we write and what we pride ourselves on. If you're even going to take that fucking shot in the dark and jump on Nick Cannon's Eminem diss song to fucking throw stones at the GOAT, then, I mean, or one of the GOATs, like, you better have written the greatest shit ever that you could have possibly thought of, shit that supersedes anything you said in your best battle verse ever. But these guys phoned in like the most popcorn verses ever, which makes it an even worse look. And then, I mean, to show how non-existent of a look it really was on the grand scale, they didn't get any kind of reply out of M, who obviously like knows full well who they are. I don't know. I would have stepped away from it. People asked Sharon, they were like, yo, what would you have said if Nick Cannon asked you to get on that shit? And Sharon was like, nah, like I would not get on. And I mean, he gets it. You know what I'm saying? There's just no reason to even involve yourself in that. M's dissing Nick Cannon's ex-wife and Nick Cannon. There's no reason for a battle rapper to fucking get involved in that. Especially on song where you are so overly matched, even on the 1 in a billion chance that you get a response, you know? Like, when has M not flamed someone in a diss response? It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's become his thing not to give people that respect, because he knows that, you know, just dropping him in a song and having him
he knows the favor he would be doing them, you know?
Exactly. It's what he did with Everlast in the last diss he made against him, which was just fucking awesome. Like, I love that.
Quitter.
That was
yeah. Quitter's the shit.
That was still one.
Quitter to me is like that might be the most underrated diss song ever. Quitter is so good.
And then one of the rest is D12.
And when D12 comes in, and yo, the thing that I fucked with on that is M's verses over the hit 'em up beat are syllable for syllable. They are structurally written the same as Pac's verses. It's just different words.
And
like
even
the pacing,
even like some of the same verses, like half of the bars are like the same, and then they just
the D12 guys. Yeah, they did the get out the way, yo, get out the way, yo. Bro. That shit. M's when I heard M's verses on that though, I was just like, yo, this shit is genius. His verses are exactly phrased as Pac's verses were. It's just different words. It's so fucking good. That shit brought me back, because I remember doing that. Like, the first real rap verse I ever wrote was it was probably like 15 years ago or something now, maybe even long. Oh, it's definitely longer now. I keep forgetting how old I am. It was over 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago now. It was to a song called Deep in the Jungle.
That long ago?
It was 20 years, easy. It was to a song a song called Deep in the Jungle.
Me how old I am, man.
Word. I mean, shit. Age is a state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. I'm sitting there like fucking with a cap and looking like a fucking.
Bro, I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest fucking 38-year-old ever. And that's another.
Yeah. Someone's also saying the same person who said you can't fool me. That's not TheSaurus. That's Jack Black.
I'll take it. That's a huge compliment. I'm a massive Jack Black. I'm a massive Jack Black and Tenacious D fan. That's a huge compliment. But yeah, one of the first verses I ever wrote.
He's also asking, have you ever met Eminem? I suppose not.
No, I haven't. I mean, I don't know what even scenario it would have to take place for that to even happen. It's,
I remember at some point.
At
some point there was a like battle rap meetup, virtual online, where all of a sudden we had there was a bunch of battle rappers and event makers or whatever bookers on that.
Word. So like industry artists.
All of a sudden pops up Eminem and D12 or no, Royce the 5'9", sorry, on one of the screens.
Yeah.
So we knew they were looking, but they didn't say anything. But they're
like I know that he's at least like in tune with the battle scene to the degree to where he probably knows who a good handful of us are. But no, I've never met him. I thought there would be the slightest, I guess the best chance there would be at the red carpet premiere for the movie Bodied, because he was like an executive producer of the movie. But he wasn't there for the premiere, which is, I mean, I'm not surprised. The guy's probably the busiest human on the planet. And even at the times where he's not busy, the guy has done so much for so long that he probably enjoys his free time. I mean, fuck, I enjoy my free time to the maximum, and I have not lived at the high capacity stress level for 3 decades straight that guy has. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he enjoys his free time to the fullest. But I feel like that would have been the most likely time that something like that would happen. I mean, it's a small world though. Like, you really never know. I assume because of the massive scale of celebrity that he's on, that it would be hard, just because there's so few places he's ever going to go. He's never going to go anywhere alone. First of all, it's always going to be with either like an entourage, or there's going to be security or something like that. Yeah, and anywhere he goes that's even like a public area is going to be like closed off specifically for him type of thing. So I can't imagine a scenario we would meet other than something battle related somehow. You know what I'm saying? That would be
something like the Drake situation with Black Album.
Exactly. That's like literally what I was thinking when I was saying that.
Because he did that. What was that event where he actually sponsored it or threw it?
That was okay. So he showed up to watch DNA versus Disaster, but then I think it was 2 or 3 years later, him and OVO like essentially sponsored Blackout 5.
But he also did that same. He did the one where Loaded Lux came in and battled. Was it Daylight or I can't remember.
Hollow,
where he threw his own like battle rap event, which just it was shit compared to like what battle rap was, because it was such a like spectacular light.
Oh, that wasn't Lux and Hollow. I can't remember what that
Lux was on there. I think that's when he came in.
I believe it.
Someone in the chat. I mean, I know Morton, resident fucking expert. You'll know which event I'm talking about. So if you can throw that up.
He was part. I know he was on stage for a URL event too. I know that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that. Well, I've obviously not kept up with the game enough.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the ring for Disaster's battle. He was in the ring for Pat Stay versus Math Hoffa. That was another blackout. He was at 2 different blackout events where he was basically like chilling the entire time in the venue. And then the DNA Disaster event, he just like surprised showed up for that one. That shit was crazy. That was the same event where me and Ilmac battled for the Grand Prix 2-on-2 tournament finals, where we like air quote lost to poor Rich and Diaz. Like the biggest jerking in battle history, basically. But anyways, so we're like in this VIP area upstairs in the venue, Ilmac and I, just running our bars. We were like, there was maybe 5 people total in this VIP area, all spread out in different corners. Everybody's running over their shit. Next thing you know, back door opens, in walks an entourage of like 20 people who look super important, followed by Drake. And I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. He sees that we're rehearsing in the corner, instantly like beelines over to us. And he's like, hey, I'm so sorry for interrupting. I can tell y'all are running your bars. I just wanted to come introduce myself. My name's Drake, and I've been a huge fan. And we're like, we like stop in mid-sentence. We're like, yo, man, you
fucking know who you are. Like,
you don't gotta tell us. Like, first of all, you don't gotta say sorry for interrupting. Second, you definitely don't gotta tell us who you are. And then
I remember there was a bunch of battle friends from Denmark who went to that blackout event specifically, and they were talking about what like, you know, just the fucking
he was the nicest guy in the fucking world. He was the nicest guy in the world. He's like, it's an honor to meet you guys. I've been watching since day one when you guys were on Comcast On Demand, and we were just like, this is the craziest shit I am ever experienced at a battle event in my life. And he's just like, yo, I just wanted to wish you good luck tonight. Like, I'm gonna stick around and catch as much shit as I can. Hopefully I get to catch y'all's battle. And we were just like, what is going on? This is absolutely insane. We're just like standing there speechless. He's like, yeah, it's an honor to meet you guys. And we're like, nah. Like, we're just some battle rappers, man. You're the number one artist on the planet right now. So the feeling is mutual, you know. But yo, such a humble, genuine dude. I've met enough people in my life to know when someone is faking sincerity. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And this was so genuine. And I feel like Canadians are very genuine to begin with. They're just like, it's like a polite, friendly culture. Most fraudulent sincerity, to be honest, comes from Americans. Fucking dickheads. But like Canadians in general, very like, they're like a super well-mannered culture. They're very respectful and like happy. And I mean, this dude is obviously, he's the number one artist in the world. He doesn't have a single thing to be mad about. That's for fucking sure. But he also is in a position to where I wouldn't have been mad if he would have said nothing to us. Like, I would have been like, yeah, as expected, Drake saw us in the corner and didn't say anything. I wouldn't have thought twice if that's what would have happened. If he would have just like nodded to us and then kept walking, cool, man. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. He was
just the fact that you are here is enough, right?
Straight up. And he was so like genuine and sincere. And you could tell like he wanted to talk about battle rap. He's just like, man, I fucking love this shit. Like, that's why I'm here. It was so fucking dope. Like, just such a real moment. Such a good dude. And then I remember like, several years later, this is like one of the wackest, like, I guess, what ifs, what could have been happen. I was up in Montreal and I was just like spending the week in Montreal. I was up there with my girl and I get a phone call like hella randomly. It's like 5 p.m. or something, Montreal time. Some female it's a number from LA, female I've never spoken to in my life. I'm like, hello. And she's like, hi, this is so-and-so. I'm Drake's publicist. And I was like, okay, this is random. She's like, yeah, we have like a semi-emergency situation that we kind of we're hoping you could help us out with. And I was like, well, I'll fucking try my best if you're representing who you say you are. She goes, yeah, we're having his birthday party tonight in LA, and we had an opponent lined up for Disaster to battle for Drake's birthday. The opponent can't make it. Can you be here in whatever 3 hours to make this fucking happen? And I was just like, I feel like such a loser that I have to decline this opportunity because I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in Montreal. I'm a 5.5 hour flight away. And that also doesn't include having to find a flight and book it and get me there. You know what I'm saying? I was just like logistically. And on top of that, I also don't have access to a fucking suit. Like, this is Drake's birthday party. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go. I called Diz. I'm like so depressed about it that I can't go. And he's just like, dog. He's like, you're the first person I thought of when the other person couldn't do it. He's like, fuck, I guess I'm gonna have to like try to find someone. And he ended up battling some chick. I forget who. QB Black Diamond, I think, is who he ended up battling. He ended up finding an opponent and battling her. So it ended up working out. But then I just remember like that night before I was going to sleep, I'm in Montreal, just like watching a movie with my girl on the couch. And then she's like scrolling through her phone. She's on Instagram and she's just like, fuck. She's like, I don't want to like make you feel worse. And I'm like, well, I know you're about to by what you just said. So just show me what you got to show me. And it's just a pic of Diz took with Taylor Swift at the birthday party that he posted on his. And I was just like, bruh, someone buy me a fucking rope and a stool. This is so depressing. Oh man. Like, obviously nothing I could do. There was no way I was going to be able to make the time deadline to make it happen. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate circumstance more than anything. But fuck, man, I had the opportunity to battle Disaster. Also, I would have gotten my vengeance. I would have gotten to rematch Disaster and fucking
which is one of the legendary battles that people throw up there,
and
like,
also one of the legendary like debatable decisions. I don't think like the quality of the battle itself is pretty compared to what today's standards are, but this was also
early days, right?
I was just gonna say it was my second written battle. So this was when shit was just in its inception. I was still trying to find my footing in this whole written format. At the time, I was a fucking freestyle Olympian. You know what I'm saying? I was a machine who operated solely on like freestyle battling in the moment. That's how my mind worked at the time. Now I had to like retrain myself and find this new outlet. So the battle quality itself isn't that impressive like by today's standards. It aged okay. It definitely aged in my favor though. That's what I like about it. It aged so well for me that it's just like, what people who watch it now are like, what were these judges on? Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? So it's fun to like look back on that way. And me and Diz like still fucking troll each other about it constantly. That's like Diz and like Ilmac are probably like I would say like two of my best friends in the battle shit for sure. Like two of the battlers who I absolutely consider like fam type shit. You know what I'm saying? We've seen enough of the world together and fucking experienced enough cool shit together to where that's like family at this point. Caustic too is another.
Isn't it just exhausting hanging out with him in the long run? Because I remember when we met him in Sweden, he is fucking high strung, like he's on meth 24/7, but without
the people watching who don't know, like Diz is the same person off camera that he is on camera.
Oh, for sure. It's not absolutely.
There are so many battlers who are sort of like a caricature of themselves when they're performing. He is Disaster 100% of the time around the clock. That is that is his personality. His brain is moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute at all times. And the wild thing is, it's hella funny. People think that he's just like this insane, like fucking cokehead or whatever shit. Like the guy's small. He's just a weed head. Like,
he may have ADHD and something.
For sure.
On him.
His brain moves at 1,000,000 miles a minute, man. It's
and you can just see it in his eyes. I remember.
For sure. You can, in Sweden, you can literally.
I was expecting everyone. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Bro, the gears are turning at all times at full speed. It's wild. It really is.
Even when I was up there in Sweden and we met y'all and everyone backstage was not who they are on stage, obviously, like you expect.
He was the same person.
And then I met him in like the restaurant area, and like we came up and dapped it up and spoke a little bit about what we may or may not do. And I was just like, fucking hell, I can't even talk to you for 5 minutes, man. You're making me fucking dizzy.
Oh yeah, there was times I remember when I lived in LA with my old roommate, like and she's like one of me and Diz's like really good longtime friends as well. So he would always come over to the house just to hang out and smoke with us because he lived, 2 or 3 miles down the way. So anytime he would come over, like she and I would just be sitting like either on the couch or she would be like at her computer desk, which was in the living room as well. But whenever he would come over, it was just pacing like a battle rap event, but in conversation. And she and I would always have to be like, yo man, sit down. You're making me nervous. Like you need to just sit and chill and converse while you're sitting and chilling. And he's just like, no, I can't. I need to talk about this. And he's very, motion creates emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
that's the best way that I can describe
I could
it.
recognize him in that scene from that from what's the name of the American one? Bodied.
Oh, from Bodied, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I can recognize him, kicking in that door with the AK. Like, it's like that is
For
not
sure
even acting. Like that's not even acting for him.
I noticed on Facebook memories that the last Sweden trip was actually this week. Like it was
Yeah,
it was just like
actually I think to this day, this was the day.
That's
7 years
crazy.
ago.
That's fucking crazy.
It's amazing though.
Because I just saw in my Facebook memories, it might have even been last night, like literally today's date's memories. It was one of the last 3 days, and it was fucking multiple pics from Sweden. And there was things that I had said, like, well, I had breakfast with Paul Wall. Fucking what?
Those events were fucking sick. Like shout out,
they were
to
insane.
Chubbs all the way.
Absolutely, shout out to Chubbs.
David had it.
That was to me. Those were the dopest event experiences that I ever had. No
Absolutely.
fucking question.
I remember sitting outside chatting with what's his face, the guy with the weird eyes.
Hobson.
Yeah, Hobson. Yeah, like it was just such a fucking chill vibe, great event. Like
he was cool as fuck too.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was brilliant, man. Like, and that's what it is. It's like I used to work for a big booking company that we booked Snoop, but we booked anyone really. My first gig there was booking Dolly Parton, and then we booked Snoop and a couple of other rap artists. But you'd be surprised like how many people are just completely down to earth. Like they're
for sure.
Like
they just want they just want to interact as a human, like not, you know what I'm saying?
I remember the only one in Sweden who actually was I thought it was a bit diva-ish, but it turns out like there was a reasonable explanation, was Royce the 5'9".
Royce the man.
He was like, yeah, he was like demanding that he had his own separate room and shit, but that's obviously because he's got his addiction problems and he couldn't be around people who's so. But I remember walking into that room just because that was where the drinks were, like monsters or whatever, and I went in to get a monster, and everyone just in there looked at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I was just grabbing a drink. Like, I'm off again.
Word. Yeah,
yeah. I thought he was, and I've been a major fan of Royce the 5'9". Like,
that's my favorite rapper. He's the best.
He's like Boom is today still one of the favorite tracks I'll put on.
So good.
He's
evolved so much too. He's like the best lyricist in rap. He's so fucking good, man.
So I was a little bit, not annoyed, but disappointed that I didn't get to shake his hand just for the respect of it, right? But I understand looking back at it, what it was that. But I remember we were partying with Snow the Product, and like it was such a fucking great event. Like I was at both those Sweden events, so I can't remember which live acts were there for which event. I think Snow the Product was the event after the one you were there at.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that was the one I wasn't at.
Yeah, but like that was.
I mean, I went to 2 of them. They were both fucking insane.
Oh, there's only been 2 then. Then you must have been there.
No, there's been more than 2 because Disaster went out there one time that I wasn't there as well. I remember.
Oh yeah, but that was a Base Mentality,
an Arsenal or some shit.
Yeah, that was there was Diz versus Henry Bowers at one point, but that was Space Mentality battles.
Yeah, no, there was something. I thought Chubbs did more than the two that I've been a part of.
Oh, he might have, but I was only part of the two of them anyway. But yeah,
Word.
it was fucking dope events. Like that was the peak era for me, at least in
Word.
I don't know how it was for the American side of things, but for
Yeah.
us in Scandinavia, that was definitely like peak.
Oh, that shit was the best, man.
Oh, it was fucking awesome. Like, yeah, and someone else was saying, tell us about the beard.
I mean, fuck, just stopped shaving at the start of the year. Just said fuck it. And since then, I haven't had any incentive to do anything. You know, I can't, you know, there's nowhere open for me to get it cut anyways. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a nice trim when I can, but I'm going to keep the beard going for sure. I don't know how huge I'm going to let it go. It's never going to get like Henry Bowers level, but it'll
no, because that takes a fucking lifetime.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think he's got way too long of a head start on me for me to ever get there. But I like it. I enjoy it more than I thought I would. And it's less bothersome than I thought it would be at this stage. Thought it would be like hella irritable and scratchy and shit, especially because it's so hot out here, but it's been fine. I like it. And it seems like women respond well to it. So
it's that hipster thing, right?
fair enough. I'll be all right.
So there's another question here that says, "What's the favorite battle you've ever been in?"
Wow, ever been in?
I actually had that question down for myself as well to ask you. So yeah, but that's
O'Shea was really fun. O'Shea is definitely one of the most fun that comes to mind. I mean, it's more recent. It was only like 2 years ago that it even happened, but it was in Dublin. It was my first time in Dublin. Battling O'Shea is always going to be fun to begin with because he's such a fucking hilarious human being and like someone who I've just like been a fan of and just had bad appreciation for over the years. Being able to do a one-on-one battle against him was dope. And the atmosphere in Dublin was fucking crazy. Those fans are insane. When I battled Matter in London, that was even though I fucked up in my third, that was another one because the energy in the venue that was the same event where Shoddy Arsenal happened. That was the craziest atmosphere I've probably ever experienced at any battle event. And then probably me and Nestle would also have to be up there just because it's like such a fucking good battle. Everything about it was good. We were fucking rebuttals against each other. We had fucking hella joke roast material, fucking more like cutthroat bars. It's probably those three that have been like the most fun, I would say. I've had so many, so it's really fucking hard. But
do you have any like count on how many battles you've even done at this point?
I mean, Verse Tracker has the closest. Verse Tracker has count of everything that's on YouTube, and I know it's like probably somewhere around 160. But I know that there's at least that many that are not uploaded to YouTube as well, because like what a lot of people, like especially newer battle fans, don't know about the freestyle era is that it was pretty much all tournament format. So you were battling, I mean, if you were good, you were battling anywhere from like 3 to 5 times per event. And I had like a string at just like one freestyle battle event in Oakland where I won 11 straight months. And this was an event where there was at least 16 people in the tournament every time. So if you go from 16 to 8 to 4 to 2, you're battling 4 times a night every time there. So that's 11 times. That's just the wins. That's 11 times. That's 44 battles right there, of which maybe 10 have been uploaded to YouTube. Then there's all the times where I either didn't make the final or didn't make the final 4, because another thing which made a lot of us so good in that era was the fact that every event, it was all elite level freestyle battlers battling each other. It was me 1 month. It's me, Tantrum, Pass, D-Lore, Kodiak, RIP, Franco, fucking just freestyle legend after freestyle battle legend. And we're having to battle these people month in and month out. So, I mean, this was a place where I actively battled for probably 2.5, 3 years straight, of which I probably won. I mean, if I won 11 straight in a 2.5 year run, I think it's probably reasonable to think I won 16 out of 30 total or something along those lines. I mean, that alone though makes for almost 100 battles right there.
Fucking hell, man. Fucking
you
hell.
know, it's nuts. I mean, I have a larger body of work than literally anyone. And, I mean, I have more content on YouTube than anyone as just YouTube era period. And then if I needed to, I could go digging through the archives and add another fucking 100 clip to it if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody passed me or something on Verse Tracker in like most battles or whatever, I could just be like, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
And speaking of that, we'll get back to the questions from the chat in a minute, but you did have one battle from Sweden that actually ended up on our channel.
Word.
You probably remember that shit show of a fucking
True.
And I think just I don't want to spring this on you, but I think we've got a call in if you don't mind.
Go for it, bro.
Go for it. Yeah. All right. Here he is. So let's welcome the artist formerly known as Spirited Sage. I think we're getting him in right now. He's joining, it says.
Dope.
So let's take a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Right. Let's see if he's getting on. It says he's still joining.
Yeah, it takes a minute to connect, I noticed.
Yeah, and I probably
at least when I did it.
Yeah, it's they're upping the security on this Zoom thing apparently. Let's see if he's coming in. 2 seconds.
So what, you have Zoom like linked to your YouTube channel then?
Yeah, if you have like a paid Zoom thing, you can live stream these meetings directly to YouTube and to Facebook.
YouTube. Dope. That's pretty dope because I have a YouTube channel, obviously with like a couple thousand subs, so that's dope.
Yeah. And all you need to do is like $11 a month for the professional version of Zoom, and then you can live stream it. And you can do. I know right now people can only see which one of us is talking.
Word.
But you can also split screen it. I just need to figure out how to do that for the next AMA we're doing, which I will also reveal now that we have Chilla Jones coming on.
Dope.
So we're
dog. Shout out to Chilla, man.
He's again just one of those. I met him at Apex over here. Like he's one of the most fucking genuine guys. Like him and Trevor.
Such a good dude, man.
Like, I mean,
such a good dude.
Love all the way.
Genuinely loves the scene, loves giving back to the culture, loves interacting with fans and chopping it up with them. Such a genuinely good dude. I got to work with Chilla for 2 seasons of the TV show Drop the Mic, and it was hella fun. Like just hanging out, coaching these fucking actors who've never rapped in their life before, coaching them in fucking rap battles. And then we go up to the VIP section to watch our battles and like root for our guy and shit. It was dope, man. Chilla's cool as fuck.
All right, I don't see the artist formerly known anymore, but if you're out there watching, please try to join again, and I'll add you in. And
Word.
in the meantime, we'll go for the next question here.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's have a look. You still think that you have something to prove when you do battles? Like, do you get nervous and stuff like that?
I still get nervous every time, but I don't think I have anything left to prove, so to speak. I guess in terms of like anything to prove, the one thing that's not on the checklist, I guess, I personally don't feel I have anything to prove to anyone. I feel like the one thing I guess missing from my entire body of work is a URL battle, but to me that's never a lane that I've ever even like actively tried to pursue, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that people value for me more than I value personally, you know. Like it would be cool if I was given the opportunity and it was against somebody dope who I like respect as a writer and who I want to battle. Obviously I would fucking do it. There's no question that I would do it. If it's also not something that I'm gonna fucking like kick and scream for or act entitled for by any means, or you know what I'm saying? Like if the opportunity comes, it comes. But I definitely don't think I have anything to prove to anyone in the battle world. But I definitely still get nervous before every single performance, partially because I prepare super last minute always, just because that's just like how I function. So the nerves are always there because even if it's a fucking song verse that I've known for 10 years, performing it live is just not the same as reciting it by yourself. There's elements of a live performance that you just can't account for. So I feel nervous because I know that anything could happen at any given time, but usually the nerves go away like whenever I get my first real reaction, because then it's like, oh, okay, this is like I'm back at home. This is what I fucking do. You know what I'm saying? The nerves usually come in when it's like you go to an event, it's dope. Say I'm battling like in the middle of the day or later in the day, and some of the earlier battles are going, and they start like getting crazy reaction for shit that I either wouldn't have expected to get a reaction, or the crowd's just reacting a particular way that you're kind of just like, oh damn, like you sort of start second guessing your own material, because as a battler you've run your own material so many times that it sort of becomes stale to you, but you are forgetting that it's still brand new for the audience. You know what I'm saying? So while I've run it 1,000 times in my own head, and like the clear best punchline of it might be stale to me at that point, doesn't mean that it's going to be that way for the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So that's like when the nerves start to kick in, when I'm just like, oh damn, like sort of second guessing my own, like fuck, I should have written better for this round. I should, you know, and like it's just natural like performance anxiety. I've dealt with that shit since like day one of even playing musical instruments. Like it's just, you know, I feel like it it shows that like my like my investment in what I'm doing is pure. I still care about what I'm doing enough to get nervous about whether or not I think it's going to be good enough for the people who are watching. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I skipped the question actually, but it ties nicely back into this, which is who do you think, I'm going to add a little bit to this, like who do you think besides yourself has the best pen game in battle rap at this point?
Oh, Ilmac is the best writer to me in battling for sure. Bender is RIP to my dog, man. That is to me like the ultimate. Those two are like the echelon of writer that I get inspired by, that I want to like drive it, or draw inspiration from. Like that's where those are the most common people I write or watch specifically for their writing while I'm writing to get inspired. You know, there's a ton of other battlers that I watch for like different reasons to get inspired and shit, but when I'm just if I'm battling a real writer who I know I'm gonna have to like be better than I've been pen wise, then those are the people that I write. Those two, someone like Fresco, of course, is incredible. Limited, he has a much more like limited battle sample size than those other two, but you could go back and watch any of Fresco's battles and like still find new shit that's fire.
Hang on, I think we might have a guest appearance on the line, and if someone wants to introduce himself, be aware that
what's good?
We're having too much fun over here.
Yeah,
we're trying to social distance, so we have to have 6 feet between all of us.
What is up, my man?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
what are you guys talking about? I tried to watch the YouTube at the same time as trying to do the thing, but I couldn't do both things at the same time, so it was ridiculous. So where are we in the conversation, right? Holy shit! Look at your face, bro. What happened to your face? God damn, eyes. You look like my old name. You look like a spirited sage right now. Look at that shit.
Yeah, you know, spirited sage Francis is who I look like.
Goddamn.
Yeah, just fucking, you know, letting the grizzly grow, bro. I haven't shaved since first of the year. It's been going since the first of the year.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive. But you're touching up on the sides. You must be, because
where it gets too bushy right here, I hit the clippers.
Line right there that you got. That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I have a pick, so I keep it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
We keep it going. You know, I can definitely like throw it out as much as humanly possible.
Oh, you look amazing.
Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you, man. It's been a long time. I noticed in my Facebook memories, it was literally today, basically.
It was the 4th.
It
was the 4th. Okay, it was the 4th. Yeah.
So I had the 4th where I put up a post that said I was just arrested for being too dope. So that was because Steffen was really sharp with putting out the video on that one. So it came out pretty quickly. But the actual battle went down, I believe, on the 4th.
Word. That's so wild that it had, like, fuck, man. I can't believe how quick time passes too. That's so insane.
7 years.
We were saying too, like, those are the most fun events that I've ever been a part of. As like the entire experience was just so fucking crazy the way Chubbs did everything with just like, oh, you guys are like all of the performing artists. If you're an artist performing on this card either day, you are all equals and you are all like you're all a part of the same field integrating. It was so tight, man. That shit was great. Amazing.
The chicken wings.
Yo.
Those was fire.
Man.
Menu was
even the meatball spot that fucking Chubbs brought everyone to the night before, like the night that everybody got into town. He has
I missed out on that one.
Fuck, man, that I've never had.
I got there for that one. That was dope as fuck, man. That was really
incredible. Nice. It was like this little secret back room area that looked like a fucking library and shit. It was crazy.
Oh shit, I missed out. God damn, I gotta go to that
really
meatball spot.
On that one. That's where I ran into Diz.
Okay.
Chubbs was doing his fucking thing, man. What a legend!
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Was this while I was apprehended by the local police force? Or?
I believe so.
I think
maybe that's what happened.
This was a day before, and maybe
the day before. No. This happened on the day, so that was not the same thing. I guess I was just lamping at the hotel room.
Yeah,
having too much fun.
But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know out there, the Spirited Sage, or the artist formerly known as, who we have on with us now, he battled TheSaurus at the Swedish event called, what was it, Blast event.
Blast, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so shout out to Chubbs for that one. That was fucking awesome. And, I'll let you guys chop a little bit how you feel about that whole battle and how.
Well, I was super upset because, like, apparently I felt like I'd written some super dope bars, but I just didn't come like with the energy that I was supposed to. But I still, at some point, I felt robbed because I hadn't won that battle. I was like, I fucking murdered that shit, and I was floating on some kind of a high. And I decided, okay, I need to go out and smoke some weed and chill the fuck out. And I was smoking the very last of my weed, and I had this.
You didn't get to smoke it.
Well, let me finish the story, God. Who was telling the story? You or me? All right, here we go. So I'm trying to roll up my joint. I got my mixing tray and I got my weed. It's the very last of the weed that I brought with me. So I pour the weed into the mixing tray, and I got my cone rolled up, and it's behind my ear, and I'm ready to go. And then as soon as I'm in the middle of scooping it, and this security guard comes out of nowhere, and I'm kind of like, I'm leaning out of the door because it was like a backstage door that went out to the VIP smoking area. So I could like peep out the door and look at the people with the velvet rope around it and shit. And I was trying to scoop up my weed. And then the security guard comes up and he says something to me. And immediately I'm like, this is, he's just taking the piss. I'm like, yeah, what's up? well, I'm smoking the weed. And he's like, no, that's not okay. And as he reaches out and he's like going for my weed, I just kind of instinctively just empty out the weed tray that I have, and the weed just kind of like scatters to the breeze that's coming in through the door. And he gets so upset, he grabs me by that hand, and then he puts me into like an elbow lock, like full on, slams me onto the staircase. And I got some people in the background, and coincidentally, just to make this this reunion complete, my two boys that were with me on the day, they're sitting in the background right now. They refuse to be on camera, but they're going to be contributing with some commentary. But at the point, my boys are in the backstage and they're indulging on these chicken wings that were amazing by the catering job. And they're mingling with the people. There were some super cool people in the building. Besides the Thors, we had Disaster in the building. We had Roan. We had a whole bunch. We had
so many fucking rappers, man.
Chicken wings is what we had.
But the chicken wings. So one of my friends is he's just like, this chicken wing buffet is everything there is. In the meantime, somebody
They have the whole
yell, this
sushi
is
room.
unacceptable. What are you guys doing? And they come out and they see me in this headlock just up against the fucking staircase like this. And they kept me there until the local police force arrives. And the local police force,
I'll interrupt you because I remember a bit more than that. First of all, you weren't resisting, and you were really like going for the whole, I am not resisting, this is violence, this is police violence, brutality, and I will sue the shit out of all of you. Like, it was absolutely mayhem. In the meantime, I'm standing aside here trying to act just a little bit professional as the only one who's actually still halfway sober. Almost, kind of.
You were just looking at it, going,
no, I was trying to like let him go. He isn't resisting. Like, I was trying to act like professional because I couldn't. I was obviously.
I was like, damn, this thing is fucking up.
But then, and then this security guard was standing in the corner looking at the whole thing, and I don't know if I'm allowed to mention his name.
Don't mention his name.
No, all right, but your friend, he was then standing outside of the VIP smoking area, holding on to the side of the railings.
Let him say it. What did you say? What did you tell him?
I remember.
No. He's right here. Let him say it.
No, let him say it.
Oh, he wants you to say it.
All right, I remember the security guard just arguing with him, and the security guard ending up saying, "Well, you can suck my dick." And then this guy who will remain nameless for this.
Voldemort.
Yeah, Voldemort. He just slams the fucking girder down. He's like, "I'll suck your mama's dick."
Fuck, man.
And it made absolutely no sense whatsoever.
No.
But
I was hoping
apparently,
nobody would remember that. I was hoping nobody would remember that, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that situation. Now turn the camera.
Oh, that's amazing.
I will remember that shit for the rest of my life, bro.
That
was insane. Because that was apparently
so
just
amazing.
the thing. That was the thing that was so in this security guard's mind that he just lost it and went to the fucking barrier, jumped the barrier, and just started chasing dude down the fucking street, just wanting to fucking beat him up on some fucking proof shit that had nothing to do with security whatsoever.
That is so amazing.
So I gotta rehash. So anybody who hasn't seen the battle, if you go and see the battle, you'll see that at the point I have a very different hairstyle than the one that I have right now. TheSaurus was preparing the battle based on some battles that he'd see with me before, where I was rocking pretty much the same hairdo that I am now. But I had preemptively tried to pull the pin on that by just letting it grow out. So
you look so different.
I look like a freak of fucking nature. But basically,
I was like, no
the
way.
police came and arrested me. The police arrested
Oh yeah,
me,
and then you cut your hair
and they throw me in. Well, let me tell the story, goddammit. I'm trying to tell the story. So the police, they throw me into the back of the cop car while everybody's out there cheering in front of them and trying, police brutality, making a scene. And these guys, they know they don't have anything they could prosecute me with. So they're like, what are we gonna do with this guy? they stick me in the back of the police car and they just start driving out towards the middle of nowhere.
Oh, well, I'm in the meantime. In the meantime, I've spoken to the women police lady who's come up and taken him down. And I asked her, look, I'm representing this guy. I need to know what you're doing with him now, so I can find him and handle the situation or whatever. She tells me, look, the venue just doesn't want him here anymore. So we're gonna nice and quietly take him back to the hotel, and we're gonna drop him off there, and he's just not allowed back in the venue anymore. I say, all right, so you're telling me that if I walk back to the hotel right now, I will find my man there, and that's gonna be that, yeah? And she says yes, and I start walking towards the hotel. I turn up the hotel, no spirit, no you there. Yeah. So you take over again now.
So they stick me in the back of this cop car, and they start driving. And I'm sitting there trying to be a real smartass because I'm still really feeling myself. And I'm like, they got nothing on me. I can talk as much shit. I'm a VIP, whatever, the battle rapper, whatever the fuck. I'm way the fuck up there. So I'm flirting with this female police cop, and I'm asking her if she's got a boyfriend and all kinds of just saying a bunch of reckless things. And I remember them driving way and commenting on it. I was like, wow, we're really in the middle of, and they dropped me off at a church that's at a fork in the road, and the road splits and there's a church right there, and they're like, okay, town is that way, and they just let me off of the car, and I'm looking at my watch.
This is like 5 miles outside of Malmö where the venue.
I have no idea where I am, but this is where the story gets fun, is that Steffen was kind enough to give me a couple of VIP bracelets. And I had 2 homies with me, but I was that kind of dude who was like, give me a whole bunch of these things in case I run into some bitches or something out the front and I need to. So I had like a pocket full of these VIP bracelets, and I'm walking back towards town because they just said walk that way. And there's this, this like, it's basically the projects. I mean, it's urban development in the middle of nowhere, and there are these dubious looking characters that are hanging around a car where all the doors are open and the trunk is open and they're blasting music out of the speakers. And I just mosey on up there, and in my best English, I'm like, hey, you guys, can you help me out, because the cops just your local police force just really fucked me on this thing. And immediately, as soon as you start talking shit about the local police force, they're all like, okay,
they're with you, they're on board with you. They're
exactly.
like, hell yeah,
like,
fuck
okay.
The police.
Word. So this is where the synchronicity just gets too crazy, right? Because I say, I've just been over at the what was it called, the place in Malmö, the joint. It wasn't the Blast.
It was at Babel.
At the Babel, that's right, the Babylon. So I said, I'm over at the Babylon, and I've been doing this battle thing. And I've been battling TheSaurus, and then I was smoking weed and the cops, and I was trying to tell them the story. And most of the kids are just tuning out. They don't give a shit what I'm saying. But one of them is like, hey, did Disaster battle yet? I'm like, no. Obviously, no, definitely not. Disaster's still. And so I reach into my pocket and I present him with one of these VIP tickets. And I said, if somebody gets me to that
stage
venue,
access,
then
those.
Here's the VIP access.
That's
so I tell them. Sick. So I tell homie, I was like, drop me off at the hotel room first. And he drops me off at the hotel, and Steffen is over there. He's worried as fuck. My boys are there, and they're like, whatever. And
we showed up.
Then, no, in the meantime, I've been walking back and forth. I've been walking back and forth from the hotel to the venues, trying to find out where the fuck you're at.
Let me tell you, we was the boys that was with him, right?
What's up, my man?
What's going on, man? So check this out. We worried, right? So like my one boy, he tripping. I'm like, yo, don't worry, just call him, keep calling him. He finally answers his phone. He's like, yeah, I'm at the hotel. We're like, all right, cool. We go to the hotel. He opens the door. Half of his fucking head is shaved.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally standing there with the fucking shaver on his head.
I was like, the fuck? Like half of his head is shaved. What are you doing? He cutting his hair so he could go back. That's my input.
Such a G move. That's
so wait. So I come back to the place. No. This is where it gets really fun. I finish shaving my head. I come back to the club. I walk right past that same security guard who threw me the fuck out. He didn't recognize me at all. I walk in. I come in and I see on stage somebody's performing. I want to say it was Bone Thugs, but I feel like that was the day after. But somebody was on stage performing, and I see up on the stage with his hands up with a bunch of people is the dude who drove me there, and that I had given the ticket. And I'm looking up at him, and as I'm looking at him, he immediately recognizes me, in spite of the fact that I've cut all my hair. He's just like, yo, look where I'm at. I'm having the time.
That's
I was like, yo, this
so
is shit
fire.
right now. And then I ran into you, Mr. TheSaurus.
Yeah,
and you were looking at me
seeing
like I was a fucking maniac. You were like, what just happened? And then I remember Rowan. Rowan was just hating. Rowan was just like, he made all this up. This is all bullshit. This is
I don't believe you. I don't believe that for a second. I remember the Dirtbag Dan. We were telling Dirtbag Dan the story down in the basement, and he at one point said like, dude, that would have been the point where I would just sat down on the curb and just man cried. Like
the what?
That would have been the point where, like, Dirtbag's dad said to you after we told him the story that, dude, at that point, that would have been when I just checked out and sat down on the curb and man cried.
Dude,
yeah, for real.
I mean, that was an experience. Yo, I have you guys to thank for all of that. Like, that wouldn't have been nothing without you guys. That's one of my major memories in life.
That's such an amazing story.
I mean, I lost to TheSaurus. Who doesn't lose to TheSaurus? I mean, if I'd have won, it would have been ridiculous.
No, there's no shame in that.
I have no shame, bro. And also, like, I pulled some dirty shit out of there, and I was stumbling on stage, and I was like, let me pull out some lowbrow shit, you know. And then, wait. Let me hear it. There's another take.
It was that 60 seconds of silence bar that you did.
and let me tell you,
silence. Bro, we was on stage, right? And my boy next to me, he said, it's over. And I busted out laughing. I laughed.
That's fire. That's hella fire.
Oh, shit. That was it for me. He said, it's over. I was like,
and then I did my last. That was out. That was done. It was done.
That was such a dope event, man. Fuck.
It was so much fun, and it was like I commented on your thread the other day. It was one of the best experiences in my life. Afterwards.
Afterwards. I can't lie. The whole time I was sitting in that cop car, I was having a great time. I was flirting with that cop.
That's such an insane story. That is so fucking crazy.
And I remember I remember Freeman.
I lost the battle, but I won the after party.
Hell yeah, bruh. You won the Story of the Weekend award, bro.
Just Rowan's expression when he's like, that shit ain't true. He staged that shit.
You're just like, well, that's how I know what happened to me.
That would have been crazy.
That's how you know what happened to you was awesome. It was because it was unbelievable.
Yeah. It was great. Absolutely insane. It was one of the fucking experiences of a lifetime. And I remember how Freeman told me what he was talking to the woman cop in the car was, like, because he had not revealed at any point that, and he has a very good American accent. So they were assuming that he was American and didn't.
Yeah, of course, because you had so many American rappers there, of course.
Exactly. And Danish and Swedish is so close that he can understand what they're saying in Swedish up in the front of the car. So they're like talking to each other about what are we going to do with this kid, and like they're saying, all right, well,
we can't arrest him for anything.
Oh, exactly. So let's just drive him a couple of miles out of town and we'll drop him off. Like,
let's just fuck his day up.
And then Freeman goes, oh, so you're just gonna stick me in the middle of the woods and just leave me there, right? And then this woman cop turns around. What did she say, Freeman? Do you remember what she said?
Tell me.
So she says, oh, so you do speak Swedish?
Wow.
So what did you answer?
Tell me.
You answered, no, I don't, but I speak fucking attitude.
Word.
Wow. Oh my God, the mouth on this motherfucker.
I mean, especially
I told you I was feeling myself.
once you know too, that once you hear them saying that they like have no grounds to charge you with anything too, you like know you can get away with a line like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna make your situation any worse, you know?
Nope.
That's so good.
Well, maybe. I mean, they could have driven me a couple miles
They could have driven you further.
I'll say to the
They could have
people in the
driven you
chat
further.
right now who's saying that this story is all stage and bullshit. No, this was absolutely true. Ask any fucking one that was there. Ask
That is
anyone in the
amazing.
room. It was 100% what happened. Like
That's exactly what happened. There may be some details. There may be some details. That sucking your mama's dick. That was some true shit.
That is a true shit. I mean, every single part of this story.
That's the punchline of the event.
Yo, chat, it's a lie.
That's the punch. That's the punchline of the event right there, man. That is the punchline of the event.
Because that security guard was so flustered, he did not know how to deal with that comeback.
Yeah, of course not. He's
Suck
just
my
like,
dick. And he goes, I'll suck your mama's dick. And the rage in his face as he slammed the fucking gate down. The dude was just so flustered. There was no comeback to that.
All he could do was chase dude down the street to actually wanting to fucking beat him up.
That's
That was
amazing.
It was like I was just standing there saying, I gotta be fucking dreaming because this can't be real.
What an event.
My
Holy
moment
shit.
was when they put me in the cop car and I put my arms up like this. And they were all cheering because they put me in the strips,
I remember
and
that.
I
Everyone like in
strips
the
up.
event, everyone like the line outside of the people smoking outside of the event was all going, hell yeah, man, fucking awesome, like fuck the police.
My bar's a criminal. That's what it was.
No, really? Oh, that's so corny.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's so corny, dude.
Thank you. See,
That's
my
so
hype
funny.
This is why I never made it any further in the battle circuit. Just because
Fair.
whenever I come up with punchlines, they don't be like, hey, let's just sit there and be like, all right.
That's good. Hey, it's way better to have honest friends than to have yes man
Amen.
friends.
Amen.
Absolutely, bro. Too few battlers have friends that are willing to tell them not to say something.
Yo, two
Straight up.
people generally.
And
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know, too few people are willing to suck your mama's dick.
Suck someone's mama's dick. Straight up.
Think about it.
Straight up. Suck someone's mama's dick. Some battler recently in a battle like had some like slip of the tongue and he said, I'll suck your bitch's cock. Or no, he said eat. He said he'll eat. He said, I'll eat your bitch's cock. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. You're just no coming back from that, man.
I'll eat your bitch's cock. Oh, people still give him shit about it to this day. He makes a post. He's like, new battle booked for next month. And people are like, damn, that fool's cock about to get ate.
people in the chat are still not believing this, but I don't fucking care. I swear on
I mean, it happened. It definitely happened.
That happened.
I definitely battled.
Well, what did Biggie say? Biggie said something. She's so fine, I'll suck her daddy's dick.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
It's a Biggie reference. That's what it is.
So I'm not, shit.
Yeah,
I've heard more pause-worthy bars.
Absolutely. Yeah, if Biggie can get away with it.
He wrote for Foxy Brown. If that doesn't tip off some hats, I don't know what.
Facts.
Oh, right. That's right. Lil Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
It was
So what do you guys?
Dope event. I mean, the battle obviously did not turn out as we wanted it to, but fucking hell, it was an insane experience.
The event was so
Yo,
worth
that
it.
Bone Thug shit. Who the fuck was it?
Weird,
Does somebody
man.
remember the thing with the fucking
Yeah,
with the
I know
crack
what
that
happened.
turned into heroin?
Yeah,
I mean, I remember
what
their
happened.
performance being
This
like
was-
one of the worst of all time, and I remember
It was,
fans
and
for
I'll
their
tell you
money
what,
back.
like we were there with our cameraman, and he had like the red cam. Like,
Oh my
the
God,
red
we
cam
have
of
to
the
see
event.
this footage.
Yeah, for real.
No, he was like we were in the hotel room where he was like assembling his gear, and I didn't know who was in the hotel room. We had just been directed to the suite at the end of the hotel and said you can go set up there. And then we go in, and there's a couple of guys from a podcast in the room. Me and Dennis, shout out to Dennis. He's fucking always there for us. Dennis, fucking, we love you, man. Like, he set up his camera, and in the meantime, I sit down on the couch in between this podcaster and a dude I don't quite recognize, but I feel like I've seen him before. And then I realized, holy shit, that's Crazy Bone. And he is off his fucking tits. Like, he is fucking stoned as anything. And then he's sitting there eating some takeaway, and he's eating chicken and rice and whatever. And he actually like goes, oh, this is just the best fucking takeaway ever, best chicken ever. Like, oh, y'all gotta chase this. Like, and he keeps trying to push this fucking chicken on me. Like, and at the end, ends up,
He's trying to feed you the chicken.
ends up, Crazy Bone spoon feeds me a fucking, forkful of chicken and rice and whatever. And I was like, I had it in front of my mouth, and I was like, there's no getting out of this. Like, this is going to be a story if nothing else. So fuck it.
No, you can't say no. You just gotta thug it out.
But what it was he'd been on the water wagon for like 10 years, and then he came to Sweden and asked for someone to get him something. I think it was a crack or something, and they couldn't, so they got him heroin. And
Jesus Christ.
So he was just gone. Like, he was. I remember watching him on stage with this big burly black woman, like, holding the microphone up to his mouth.
No, but wait. But that's not funny. That's just sad. Let's not do that, because that's sad. But the funny part was the fact that, didn't he say, I want some crack to somebody? And someone was like, no, we can't get you any crack, but we can get you some heroin. And his immediate reaction was just, sure, like,
why not?
Like, that's what we're doing then. I guess it's going to be a heroin type of show and not a crack type of show.
That's why he was like nodding off during his set and shit. Their set was like, fans were complaining, fans were asking for their money back and shit.
Dude, they will not get their money back. They're not getting their money back, because
and then the next morning,
that shit was legendary. You can't get your money back from being somewhere legendary.
And then the next morning, I'm at the breakfast buffet at the hotel with Copyright and Crooked Eye and Paul Wall, which yeah, that's a real sentence that I just said. I'm at a Swedish breakfast buffet with those three.
Shut up.
I met with a Swedish breakfast buffet with those guys. All of a sudden, we're all just eating, chopping it up. Paul Wall's talking about how dope it was to watch the battles live for his first time, which was crazy just to talk to him about. And then fucking Lazy Bone comes in to the buffet area and causes a huge scene because he's still hella fucked up, and he's trying to get this like 85-year-old Swedish woman to give him a hug at the buffet. And she's just not having it. And he's just yelling. He's like, come on, ma. You ain't trying to hug me, ma? And he's getting progressively louder. And like multiple rap legends are like, yo, Lazy, you got to chill, bro. Like, you got to tone it down, bro. Like people who work here are looking at you funny. And he ends up getting kicked out of the hotel for making such a big scene over this Swedish woman refusing to give him a hug. It was so fucking bizarre, bro. It was the weirdest thing. One of the weirdest moments I've ever experienced. Definitely
What was your
most surreal?
Legendary.
By far the most surreal moment ever. I'm just in Sweden, surrounded by icons, watching another icon get kicked out of a hotel because some old lady won't hug him. He was flipping too. He's like throwing breadsticks.
Well, I'd be livid. I'd be furious if I was a living legend.
And he kept calling her Ma like she was some groupie, which I thought was the best thing ever. He's like, come on, Ma. I thought it was the funniest shit in the world. Oh, and then Crooked Eye's just like, Lay, you still a legend to me, dog. You got to stop acting like this. He's like pleading with him. Bro, it was such a fucking hilarious moment. Oh man!
Until this day, it will be like the story of my life that I've been fucking spoon fed by Lazy Bone. Like, that is a fucking thing that not many people.
Oh, and Wishbone, And the night before their performance, Wishbone was super fucked up. He was up in Diz's room, and we were just like smoking blunts and talking about battle rap and shit.
Dude, by the way.
And Wishbone was in there, and he just started spazzing on Diz like about how much he loved him and calling him his brother. And he's just like, "Nah, I mean this shit, Diz. Like, you got to give me a hug, dog. I love you, dog." And Diz like, "All right." Diz gives him a hug. They like disengage, you know what I'm saying? And then Wishbone had a most serious look on his face ever. He's like, "Nah, you gotta give me a thug hug, homie." And he like pulls him in, dog, pulls him in like the tightest embrace ever. It was like a parent who hasn't seen their child in months. Just like squeezing Diz. And you could tell Diz is hella uncomfortable, but he's just like going with it because, okay, Wishbone, here's your thug hug. You know what I'm saying? It was so fucking crazy. Yo, those dudes get down, bro.
For real, for fucking real. They don't joke about like.
So wait a minute. So it was the same. It's the same dude that got turned down for the hug at the buffet. Was hugging
This was the biggest
different one.
Wishbone is I miss my Uncle Charles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying from the video?
Okay, so they're all about the hugs. So the entire
two
Bone Thugs and
different
Harmony
members
squad
made a scene over a hug. Two different members.
Hang on.
Whoever booked the Bone Thugs and Harmony, somebody call?
Yeah.
Big ups for booking Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like one of my favorite
Word.
groups, for real.
Hey,
big
They
up,
don't
big
get
up.
enough recognition. We don't mean to talk shit on the name at all. Like, we so much respect for those guys. Like,
they're
seeing
legends.
live,
for real.
Never seen them
Like,
before.
they're legends.
And that was what I was.
Absolute
And that was,
legends.
yo, wait a minute. Just to further on that. That was what I was saying before when they were saying people asking for their money back. You cannot get your money back because that's the same type of legendary shit as those people that saw like Case. It's like my friends in the Annandale in Sydney. Shout out to my friends in the Annandale in Sydney who saw Casey and JoJo when I can't remember which one of them got so fucked up that he passed out on the stage. And you know, like that shit is a legendary
that's
YouTube
brutal.
clip. And people were asking for their money back. It's like, are you kidding? You just witnessed history at this point. You can't.
How are they supposed to sing? How are they supposed to sing "All My Life" with one passed out member? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody who's out there, Google this shit right now. Google right now. Go to Casey and JoJo, the passes out Sydney concert, and I swear
That's amazing.
Right.
Yo, also
and then
on
they
the
tried to say he was
flight,
diabetic and he had some episode. And if it's because he had some episode, then I feel bad, condolences, whatever. But I feel like it was just the publicity's team trying to cover the shit up that he was fucked the fuck up. They were both drunk, but one of them was just like, "Fuck it, I give up." And I remember the other guy coming out and just looking at him on the stage and shaking his head and continuing to sing. Anyway, all right. Well, we're having a good time. Where are you at right now, Mr. TheSaurus?
I'm in Vegas.
Do you want
I
to
live
just
in Vegas.
do you want
In
a quick
Vegas?
recap? Do you want a quick recap the battle and how you both felt on how that experience was for the both of you?
What?
I gotta be honest. I don't remember. I mean, I remember the battle happening, and I remember immediately partying afterwards. That's like pretty much what I remember. I remember like literally as soon as the battle ended, it was like sick. Like, let's hit the bar. Because it was just a line of people like, "Can we buy you guys drinks?" And we're like, "Well, let's fucking party then." You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I got reckless that entire trip.
We all
Stefan, you really hooked that up, man. Like the hotel and all the shit, like you pulled out all the fucking stuff.
Oh no, that's all. I can't take any credit, man. Shout out to Chubbs.
Chubbs
all
fucking
the way. Like he sorted that out, man. Like,
Chubbs the man.
Didn't cost me a penny to fucking get the Saurus, the living fucking legend, to battle.
Well, at least they packed the house, man. So I hope he made it.
Yeah, they did a good job with that venue both times I was there. It's a cool venue setup too. It's super.
I love that.
Oh yeah, it's fucking brilliant. But especially for battle rap with all the levels, like
exactly. Everybody can. There's no obstructed view. It's perfect.
Oh, and if anyone doesn't believe this, there was a couple of Danish battle rappers in the crowd watching all this. Like, who the fuck was it?
Who was there?
Everybody was there.
No, there was a couple. Maomane was there.
That's right.
Wasn't the
And
like
yeah, there was a
like
couple
a
of Danish guys there who can vouch for all this shit.
No, but wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because I got to remember, there was this one dude who was doing really well. He turned out later to be doing really well, but at the beginning he was kind of like a young gun in the rap slam scene, and he set me up with this really cute girl, and I gotta fucking remember who he was because man, he fucking Daniel. Could that be his name? Was it Daniel guy?
Yeah, Daniel easily
With the
bald guy.
Yeah, but he was kind of like, he was preppy, but still kind of a little bit street. He was like, woo, he was super aggressive.
Yeah, that sounds like Daniel.
Yeah, there you go. But, shout out to that guy. We had a good time.
Well. Eco was there as well.
Okay.
But
they were on a tag team together, those two, right? They were on a tag team together, those two?
Eco was tag team with someone else, but they weren't performing at the event. They just came to the event to watch.
Okay. Yeah. But I remember them being around, and they were bigging me up. They put the battery in my back, and they made me feel some type of way. So everything's, shout out to them.
Right. So I want to bring up that one line that actually got, that might have touched a little bit of a nerve for you, TheSaurus or Pete. Like, do you remember it?
Nah.
Nah.
Of
course not.
Must not have touched that much of a nerve.
Significant for this guy.
It did on the night. I remember because you told us that you got a tiny bit upset, and you could see it on your face. And I don't really.
Was when I said he was Peter Pan in Neverland picking up some Lost Boys?
No.
I wouldn't have got mad at that.
No, it's.
I think I was talking shit about his daughter.
If you watch the battle, yeah, it's the line
I said some shit about his daughter, and he immediately came back and he said there will be death before dishonor. And he was stomping around on his microphone. The mic was hanging by his feet.
Oh yeah, and I was still like loud enough for everybody to hear me. I'm just grabbing my charger.
Yeah. I remember because the line, the punchline was, I mean, man, I'm just imagining, I'm just making up the setup now, but the setup might have been something like, man, do you fucking suck? Don't you have a daughter to, a wife to feed and a daughter to fuck?
I mean. It's just lazy. That's just lazy writing. So,
yeah. That was the best response I got from the crowd that night. So lazy.
That was the only fucking response you got from the crowd that night.
That makes sense.
But I was fumbling as well. Like that's what I started by saying. I went over the line. I said some shit that was inappropriate. But I was at the same time. I was like, it's a battle. You say the shit, and you were prepared for it.
It's not. I mean, it's not my first barbecue.
Death before dishonor. It feels like you named her because you knew that people would be talking shit. You'd be like, her name's gonna be Anna, and it sounds like honor.
Well, anyway. Artists formerly known as Spirited, guys that were there with us. It was an awesome thing. I'm gonna cut you now and get back to.
You're gonna cut me? Who else we got? We got any more of the battlers on? We got Disaster coming on. Let's do like a Zoom conference.
No, we haven't got anyone coming on, but we've got a few questions to get through before we end this whole session. And but cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming with us out there. It was a fucking great thing, yeah.
All right. Before I let you go, you're in Vegas?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, enjoy Vegas. I recommend that you go black today. Put all your money on black.
Oh, casinos aren't open, bro. There's nothing. Yeah, casinos won't be open for a few months. This is I don't know if you're aware, but there's a pandemic taking place right now.
No, I don't bother with that shit, because I smoked that Quranic. You know what I mean?
Are you still in Denmark?
I'm still in Denmark.
Word. What part?
Copenhagen.
Oh, sick. Right on. One of my best friends is originally from Copenhagen. He lives in the States, but he's a Danish immigrant. His whole family came.
I was going to ask if you ever came through to Copenhagen because you'd have a good time here, but now it's going to
be. I'll break in.
If I ever do, obviously, if I ever do, we'll be in touch.
Copenhagen. I mean,
if it happens, you'll be one of the first people that know.
Excellent.
For sure, bro. It's good to talk to you, bro. It's been so fucking long.
Too long.
Looking good, staying healthy. Stay safe out there, bro.
And so what do I got to do? I got to go on the YouTube and I follow the conversation, or what happens? Nobody's got questions for me. What's
yeah,
going
it's
on?
definitely running live on YouTube right now.
Yeah, it's live on YouTube right now. And Nicholas Freeman, I'm gonna kick you. And cheers again. It was a fucking honor to be there with you. It was absolutely great. Like, it was absolutely fucking amazing, man.
And if anyone has any questions for me, go fuck yourselves. You can fucking add me on the thing, follow me on Instagram, and I'll reject you. I'll block you.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
All right. See you later, Freeman.
Take care, bro.
Ah!
All right, Pete. Oh, fucking hell. That was, and for anyone that still doesn't believe it, fuck you. It happened. We were there.
Yeah, like, it definitely happened.
It was the fucking experience of a lifetime for us. So, yeah, let's see what else we've got. Questions here. What's good, Pete? When's John Cena gonna get the smoke law?
Yo, John Cena's been ducking. John Cena's been ducking for way too long.
Well,
I wish that could happen.
And do you work on the side, or does Battle Rap pay your bills? And if not, what is his work? And I could answer, but I'll let you.
Yeah, I mean, I play poker pretty much full time. It's definitely like #1 income source day in and day out. Battle Rap is cool.
Professional poker player.
I mean, but by definition, yeah, I play for a living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that answers.
I'm not
that
like
question.
A super high stakes pro or anything like that, but I play reasonable stakes. I play 4 to 5 days a week.
I was there with the table with you that night. It wasn't exactly low stakes, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not micro.
It was decent amounts to make a living off, for sure.
Yeah, it works.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then someone's the same guy who asked about John Cena is saying culture vulture move ? I don't know what that means.
Saying what?
Culture vulture move.
I don't know what that. I mean, I don't know what he's referring to.
No, I got no idea what that is either. And then there's a question that goes, who is the person you found out that was a fan of yours that surprised you?
Wow, good question. Topanga from Boy Meets World. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Oh, for real? For real?
Yeah. So super funny story. Shout out to Chilla Jones. Yeah, she actually follows Chilla Jones on Instagram and shit. So when me and Chilla got hired to work for the TV show Drop the Mic, we were hired as battle rap coaches. And for people in the chat who don't know what Drop the Mic is, it's a TV show hosted by Method Man and Justin Bieber's wife, Alec Baldwin's daughter, Haley Baldwin. So it's hosted by those two, and it's celebrities essentially battling each other. And they decided to reach out and get some like actual battlers to coach the celebrities to show them sort of the footwork of it. So we came on for a couple episodes for 2 different seasons, and they brought us on. And the producer of the show is a guy named Jensen Karp, who used to go by Hot Carl, I think was his rapper name. He used to rap.
I seem to remember a name like that.
He used to rap in like 2000, and he got a record deal through Mac 10 by like winning some radio contest back in like 99 or 2000, maybe 01, something like that. But he was winning like freestyle radio contests and shit way back in the day. Had like a semi-successful rap career and is now on to producing television. So I'm chopping it up with him on the set of the show. And he's just like, yeah, man, it's crazy to finally meet you. Like, me and my wife like watch your battles, or at the time his fiance. Me and my fiance and I watch your battles all the time. Like, this is crazy that you guys are finally here. And me and Chilla are just like, oh, right on. Like, it's cool to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, you know? And he's like, have you met my fiance, by the way? And I'm like, no, I haven't. She's standing like 10 feet in front of us with her back turned. And he's like, babe, come over here and meet TheSaurus and Chilla Jones. Like we watch their battles all the time. She turns around and it's fucking Topanga from and I'm just like frozen, obviously. And she's just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, it's so nice to meet you guys. We watch your stuff all the time at home. And I'm just like, you were everything when I was 9. Like, what is happening in real life right now? I feel like it was literally the first time, or maybe the only time I've ever been like, or felt genuinely starstruck, because that was like, that girl was a part of my childhood and like my adolescence and my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy. And then what is even funnier, so obviously, like, after that show ended and went off the air for a while, they like came back with the reboot semi recently called Girl Meets World, about the 2 main characters who had their own daughter. So it's Topanga and Corey had their own kid, and now the show is about her, called Girl Meets World. So my daughter thought me working on the Drop the Mic show was super cool. And I'm telling her, I'm like, oh my God, like, I met someone today who, like, I had no idea knew what battle rap was, and who I like was probably like my first childhood crush. And my daughter's like, who is it? My daughter's only 14. She's like, who is it? And I'm like, oh, this girl, she used to play a character called Topanga. And she's like, Topanga from Girl Meets World? And I'm like, wait, you... I was like, oh shit, there's like the generational connection now, which is hella wild. But yeah, that to me was one of the craziest ones for sure. Also, through the same show, I got to coach Mark McGrath from the band Sugar Ray. I just want to fly. So that dude like is like a low-key like semi battle rap fan, which is crazy. He's like sort of, he knew who I was, which was hella interesting. And then he's like, yeah, I've definitely seen you before. He's like, I've seen your battles before, no question. He's like, what's your name again? And I'm like, TheSaurus. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I've seen multiple battles of yours. And he goes, actually, I know for sure I've seen your battles. He goes, you battled my favorite guy. And I'm like, who's that? And he goes, who's the crazy fucker with the face tattoo? And I'm like, you mean Daylight? And he goes, I fucking love Daylight.
Daylight is fucking amazing. I remember being on a
genius.
I mean, he's
one of the most unique characters that have ever existed.
That he's an absolute lunatic, but that man is on another level of.
Oh, he's smart as fuck. He knows what he's doing.
Like I remember being on a call with him and Chubbs for like an hour and a half trying to set up something for him to come to Denmark.
Day knows what he's doing.
They definitely knows what he's doing, and he is.
Every move is deliberate. Every move has a purpose behind it. Every ridiculous thing that he says is deliberate. He's a very entertaining dude. He's like, I mean, since he's having like a more successful just career as an artist now, and it's good for him because he doesn't have to really play the battle rap character that he was. But you know what I'm saying? Like all the antics and shit, he doesn't even really have to do that anymore. Now he's just
because I remember
touring with Hobson and fucking touring with fucking Lupe and shit. Like he's got songs with fucking J. Cole. He fucking Day is killing it.
I didn't even know,
man. He has like the best his LA Leakers freestyles are insane. Fucking he's killing it. He's
you got to throw me some of them links. So
for sure.
I mean, that's fucking memory lane, man. Is but yeah, I remember telling Chubbs, look, I'm not booking Daylight. Like I don't want to take that chance of what he's going to do in Denmark for the price it's going to cost me. Like, it's just not there. And then he said, no, look, Daylight know what he's doing. Just get on the phone with me and him for a while, and you'll see. So I got on the phone call, and Daylight he spoke his word. Like he went.
If he were to come out there to rap, he's gonna really rap because it's like a new audience.
I hope so. I fucking hope so. And I'm not like we're obviously, to sort of wind this back up to the beginning where all this started was I hooked up with you back in Las Vegas, with the intention of you coming to Denmark for various reasons. Definitely co-hosting the event that we were planning to do here in 2020, which is now being pushed to 2021. but we're still planning on having you out, of course. We're looking
Oh,
fucking
bro, I
forward
would
to that.
love to.
We know you know you're welcome anytime, and we're sorting that out. And as soon as we find out when and where we can do this, and all the we're on the new side of this world, then we'll make this happen. And
for sure,
we're gonna fucking have a blast of a time.
Yep.
To throw back
another blast. You know what I'm saying?
Another fucking blast, man. Another fucking blast, and let's get Chubbs in on it.
That would be so tight. I like talk to him every now and then. He pops up on Facebook every now and then. It's obviously things are significantly different now, but I got so much love for Chubbs for fucking
I
the
think
effort
everyone in the battle rap community does, like, because he was like, that man has been through levels of stress.
I can't even imagine.
I can't as an event organizer myself, I can't even just looking at the stuff he was.
I could like, people always ask me if I would like after I stop actively battling, am I gonna like own a league or what? And I'm just like, yo, I never want to be responsible for that many type A personalities. And I can't. I wouldn't be able to.
That many egos in one room is just so fucking horrendous to deal with, even on a small scale.
Like, for sure. I can't even imagine.
I can't even imagine what Chubbs.
I tell Organic and J Pro all the time, like, you guys have the most thankless job in the world, and it is so fucking hard to successfully do it. And I was just like, I could never do what you guys do. I have all the respect and admiration for your ability to do it without like losing your fucking sanity dealing with, because you're also, not only are you dealing with egos and shit, but the majority of them are also your friends, and it just makes it so tough. Like, those guys, that's got to be the toughest fucking job.
It is fucking rough, man. I was lucky to have a co-organizer with me that was kind of, I was relaying, like, I was always the man behind the scenes until the event. So yeah. He was the one relaying messages, so I didn't have to deal directly with the rappers. So that kind of worked nicely, since he could just say no, I say no, and then they can't really say anything back to me because I wasn't connected to them. We had a good dynamic that way, and I wasn't by any means as stressed as Organic and these other people, Smack and whatever. But I remember just running into Organic at the Swedish event, and just I met him chilling at the bar, and I said, I thought, since we're co-hosting together, I might, it's best to go up and introduce myself. So, and he was just sitting there chilling, like, he's an introvert as fuck, or seems like it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh yeah, he's just fucking soaking it in,
Ganic's the man, he wasn't even interested in entertaining the conversation. People. Like he was just I'm here, like, we'll see each other on stage, like, yeah, nice one. And like, I'm an introvert myself, so it's only because of Henny and Maker's Mark that I'm actually out there now, and it's
true.
Full on. But for anyone that thinks I'm as much of an asshole as I come off as a host on stage, that is a very amplified version of who I am. Like, that is that is definitely not who I am. If you run into me in person, don't be afraid to fucking dab me up, ask me a question, whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm chill. Yeah. It's not that, but when I'm on stage, I'm in character, and I've taken on that angry approach, like, So yeah, that's just for anyone Danish out there thinking that I'm still thinking that I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks that.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people think that because of the way I host the shows. Like, we have the good guy and the bad guy, and I chose to be the bad guy, and it never really bothered me because that was just the way it put together. Let's see if we have any other questions here. Let's have him talking about Daylight and his battle against him. So you've battled Daylight.
Yeah, me and Daylight's battle was awesome.
Yeah, so your thoughts on that in general, like, other than...
I mean, that's one of the best battles I've done, for sure. Really good battle.
Yeah?
Spoken... Day showed up for 3 full rounds. I got the best out of him, so I'm happy with it.
I seem to remember that we were sitting over here watching it, thinking, will Day show up and do some fuck shit, or is it actually?
I never had a doubt that he was going to show up and rap. I knew for sure that he was going to show up and rap. It was in Cali, and I mean, he and I have never had any sort of feud or anything. There's never been a reason for him to troll me. I've never tried. I never like made fun of him on social media or anything like that. I never gave him a reason to. It's always been respect with me and Day for sure.
And Day, and for anyone watching, I don't know if I'm blowing Day's like, you know, character by saying this, but he is not as insane as he looks on stage.
Oh no, I think most people know that.
He is a very, very calculated, smart man.
Yeah, I mean, if you just fucking follow the guy on Instagram and watch his fucking live videos, he's a smart dude.
And for the guy who's saying damn poker as well, go follow TheSaurus Wins on Instagram and you'll see him doing all poker shit. And
yeah, TheSaurus Wins on Instagram.
I can vouch for that.
Gamble and Battle on Twitter. I stream. So I occasionally stream. I need to get a new desktop PC, but I have a Twitch channel as well. TheSaurus Wins on Twitch, and usually when I'm on there,
you throw me all these links in after this conversation. I'll throw them in the video description
for sure.
Yeah, people, for sure. People can go up and hit you up and follow you there if you're on like, TikTok and whatever not.
Perfect. I'm not on TikTok.
I don't even know what the fuck TikTok is, though.
I haven't even bothered.
Snow the product, that's the goat for sure. Yeah, and she was a fucking blast to party with as well. Like her and her brothers, like she was one of the people that like brought her peoples with her when she blew up. So when she came to Sweden, I remember her bodyguards was like her fucking cholo fucking friends. Like, I have a picture of myself on my Instagram with Snow the product, like where we're doing, you know, the selfie thing. And you can just see one of my brother's tattooed finger, fucking middle finger, coming into the screen, like right above us. Like, fuck it all. That was a brilliant event. There's another one saying TheSaurus is so cool for being so chill and just hanging out on the bath of battle rap in Denmark, and I completely agree. And remember to tell TheSaurus that that we all think he's dope. He told himself that it makes
much
him
respect.
Happy, so
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
It is an absolute honor to fucking have you here, and I look so much forward to actually having you at one of our events.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it too. Just keep me updated. We'll definitely make it happen next year.
As soon as we know what's going on with this new world we're in, we're gonna find out what we're doing, and whether or not, you know, it's gonna be the one or the other. You're definitely gonna be there.
For sure.
I will promise you that. Let's see what else we got here. This is actually a good story. Yeah, that was a fucking good story, and it's all fucking true as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah, fuck all you asking for a prize to battle TheSaurus. Like, you haven't got the money anyway.
Nah. That could happen, you know. If anybody,
I've already told them what the fucking price point is.
I mean, if anybody's curious, they can hit me up and ask.
Yeah, exactly. And anyone, if they want to pay your fare versus me doing it, then fucking more power to you. I'm not.
Yeah, for sure. Feel free to hit me up.
And I'm not having another spirited stage reminiscence here. Like, I want a good battle if I'm bringing you out for battling.
Fair.
So we've been in talks on what could be on the table and what couldn't.
Word.
We'll keep stum about it for now, but we'll make something interesting happen.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's. Let me see if I have something. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. Did you see the last Addy Boom battle? Addy when he came out
with Big Cat. I mean, I watched Big Cat. I didn't watch any of Addy Boom. I just watched.
No, that's the thing. Like it's the first round. I'm interested. You know, I watched it for the first time yesterday. And what's your thought of props in battle rap in general? Like, it started with the whole.
It's all about presentation. It's all about how it's done.
I mean,
if it's done right, then then it's fine. If it's fucking poorly thrown together, then it's not going to work.
Oh, we've got another question coming in saying, is there anyone who must absolutely die on your hit list?
Wow. At this point, I don't know. I mean, Solomon seems afraid. So I'd like me and Ilmac to battle Shuffle and Marlowe before it's all said and done, so we can sort of like prove who the greatest team is. But aside from that, even that though, I don't consider like that's like a you must die situation, because those guys aren't gonna just roll over and die.
Oh, for fuck no. Like, I mean, even when Shuffle battled in Denmark, like he showed up.
Yeah, he's incredible, man. He's
amazing, and he's such a good guy as well. Like, shout out to Shuffle, man. Like he's
both of them. They're both awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't met Marlo personally, but Shuffle I booked and we had him out, and he's a fucking great guy.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be that's like the one. That's like probably the top one on any list that I would have to do, probably.
Yeah, we've discussed a little bit about that and see what we'll be able to gather, but it's not going to be in Denmark for that much. But I'll tell you that much: a ticket to the UK doesn't cost much, or used to not anyway. So
yeah, it shouldn't be bad.
So let's see what happens, right? Yeah, that was so I think that's actually more or less what we got through in the questions. If anyone, I'll give like 2 minutes for anyone to pop in a question if they want. And in the meantime, I just want to say, like, it's been a fucking pleasure having you.
Absolutely, bro. Likewise.
I told you we were gonna be like an hour. We've been like 2.5 hours on now.
Word, yeah, I'm gonna make some lunch. What I'm gonna do.
It's been fucking jokes. It's been fucking great. It's been fucking
for sure.
And it's a pleasure knowing you, boy. I mean,
likewise, man.
It's cheers to you, my man.
Cheers to you too, bro. Absolutely, keep me posted on anything that you get working out there next year. I would love to come out.
You'll be one of the first to know. I definitely guarantee you that. And Dopamine, a bad rapper from Denmark, is high.
Whoa, what up, Dopamine?
So, I thought you froze on me. But yeah, come on, yeah, shout out, Dope. Fucking Tibia. Are you happy now?
Oh.
He's a big fan of yours. He's
dope. Much respect, man. I appreciate it for sure.
Chat, man. He's flooding the chat.
I look forward to getting to meet one day next year when I come out.
Definitely. We'll have a king blast.
Yep.
All right, man. It was a pleasure having you on. Thanks for
likewise, bro. Thanks for having me.
In place of what we were planning anyway, which we're gonna definitely make happen.
Word. Keep me posted.
It's been my pleasure, man. My honor.
Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there, bro. Man.
Stay safe. Stay home.
Yep. You do the exact same.
Save lives.
Absolutely, bro. Talk soon.
Counting the days.
Word.
All right. Safe, my brother.
Take care, boss.
Peace out.
Peace, bro.
Have a good one. All right, so that was AMA with TheSaurus. Dopamine, hit him up where? Hit him up on Instagram, probably is the easiest. Yeah, that's it for that. I hope the people that were here enjoyed it. I definitely did. It was a fucking blast, and expect to see TheSaurus in some way or another in Denmark at some point, if and when Rap Slam Battles comes back. All right. Have a good one out there. See you when it's all safe. Stay safe. Stay home. Save lives. Peace out.